Now we are on 36, stanza 36. Stanza 36. In the context of ultimate reality, arising from self and arising from another are shown to be untenable. Oh, 35? 36, yes, 36. Okay. Now 36 is the third topic. What's the third topic? Rejecting the objective production by pointing to the absurdity that true production cannot be rejected. Right? So how that is done is by pointing to the parallel between true production and objective production. True production and objective production. Where according to Prasangika, these two mean the same. True production and objective production. These two same or not? According to Prasangika, true production and objective production. One, do they exist or not? True production exists, not exist? Not exist. Objective exists, objective production exists, not exist? Not exist. And according to Prasangika Madhyamika, true production and objective production, these two are synonymous, yes, no? No, these two are not synonymous, according to Prasangika. These two are synonymous. Okay, which means if one is rejected, others equally rejected. Right? There's no difference between the two. Whereas, from the point of view of Swatantra Madhyamika, true production and objective production, there's difference or not? There is difference. So, one is rejected, one is not rejected. One is rejected, according to Swatantra Madhyamika, true production is rejected, but objective production is not rejected. Now, according to you, Prasangika Madhyamika, when you accept objective existence, when you accept objective production, you are in a way you're accepting true production. Because true production and objective production is the same. If you accept objective production, you are accepting true production. If you accept true production, then how can you reject true production? Right? And yet you are always saying that, oh, the Buddha taught that there's no true production, the Buddha taught that there's no true production. You are saying like this 100,000 times, you are accepting true production. Right? This is the contradiction I'm pointing to. 36. In the context of ultimate reality, arising ultimate reality here, ultimate reality referring to in the context of the factuality, in the context of the facts, in the context of the reality, in real sense, meaning in real sense a flower exists, but the flower doesn't exist as a chocolate, right? In the real sense a dream exists, but the dream doesn't exist, the dream house doesn't exist as a real house, right? Likewise, in the context of ultimate reality or reality, arising from self meaning self-production, and arising from another, arising from another, from. Okay, there are some typos here and there. Arising from another are shown to be untenable through some reasoning, are shown to be not acceptable through some reasoning. These same reasons show them to be untenable even on the conventional level. So, by what means is your arising established to exist? Okay, the same reasons show them to be untenable even on the conventional level. So this conventional level is okay. Keep in mind two things. So if you would remember, I was telling you oftentimes that how the style of Acharya Chandrakirti's rejection of the positions, opponent's positions, is done in two ways. One, logically it does not. Logically it cannot be proved. Logically it can be disproved. One. Number two, conventionally, meaning the ordinary people, they also don't accept it. Right? Okay, let's say you're Prasangikas. Okay, that flower objectively exists in flower. Can you logically disprove that, or can you logically prove that? Objectively exists in flower. You are Prasangikas. objectively existent flower, can that be logically proved or can that be logically disproved? That can be logically disproved, right? Now, ordinary people, do they accept objectively existent flower or they reject objectively existent flower? Ordinary people, they accept the flower to exist objectively. If they don't accept it, then why should they be in samsara? Why are they in samsara? Because of what is the ultimate cause? Self-grasping ignorance. Viewing things as objectively real. That is what traps all the sentient beings in samsara, all the samsaric beings in samsara, right? So ordinary beings, they see the flower as objectively real. They don't reject it, but logically it is rejected. So what it says here, in the context of ultimate reality, in the context of reality, it means, Acharya Chandrakirti meaning, logically, it is production from the self and production from another. These two are rejected. Now, not only logically rejected, they are also rejected according to ordinary conventional acceptance. Conventional level here meaning ordinary conventional acceptance. Okay, so still you are believing in what? Still you are believing in objectively existent, objectively, say, production from objectively existent another. Objectively existent another. So your belief in the, so by what means is your arising or production? Your meaning, who your Swatantra Madhyamik. Swatantra Madhyamik and the other schools, their version of the arising, their version of the production. Their version of production is what? Dreamlike production or objective production? Objective production. So by what means is your objective production or objective arising established to exist? Right? So Acharya Chandrakirti rejected that production from the self is rejected, production from another is rejected, because of which the objective production is rejected. 37. It's not the case that empty things. Okay, now this is pertaining to the examples. So now the question arises: if there's nothing there from the object side, if nothing is there from the object side, objectively nothing is there. If objectively from the object side, if nothing is there, then it becomes like what? Pure thought, pure mental. Yes, no.
Yes.
Then who are you? Prasangikas or Swatantra Madhyamikas? Prasangika followers, right? Okay. So according to Prasangika followers, everything is, then nothing exists objectively. What is it? The opposite of the objective? Subject. Then everything should be subjective. Yes, no?
Yes.
What is that subject? The mind. Yes, no? Yes. If everything is mental, then everything becomes imaginary. If everything becomes imaginary, then, right? Okay, so I have to take a flight to India. Oh, no. Just let's imagine that I'm there. Now, just imagine that I don't have to buy a ticket and I'm there in Delhi. And then you reach Delhi. Right? So if everything is imaginary, then the functionalities gets disrupted. Then you cannot account for the functionalities. So this is an argument from the lower schools. Swatantra Madhyamik, Chittamatra, Sautantika, and Vaibhashika, all these schools, and the non-Buddhists also, they reject, they try to argue against Prasangika Madhyamik for the acceptance of things to be purely subjective. You're getting it? Okay. And this is not just the argument. This can oftentimes happen to each of us as well. Right? If everything is purely subjective, then it becomes purely thought, purely imagination. Then I can imagine anything, then anything should happen. Okay, this is what can possibly happen to all of us. And I remember myself when I was very young, meaning I just got into the monastery, age 19, 20. Then I was so keen on the state of emptiness. I saw inside emptiness. Although my state of emptiness, unlike you very fortunate guys, us no. I finished the first year, and still the emptiness will come only after 10 years. And for you, after 4 years, or after 1 day, already the emptiness, right? The first day you were the emptiness. In my case, still after 10 years, after 8 years, and still I was trying my best to just read the materials, listen to the debates of the students in the high classes, and then I asked one of the senior monks, 4 or 5 years after to me, I asked about emptiness. Okay, so this is why I'm asking you not to talk about this to these monastic monks. I asked this, I was so innocently asked the senior monks, thinking that he would support me and teach me. I asked about emptiness. He said, Dorji, this topic will come to you after 4 years. Right? In a way he's saying that don't touch this. Right? So, but then I was so fortunate to have such wonderful teachers as the most venerable Genlam Rinpa, the one who was hermit, who passed away already. Amazing, a great inspiration. I asked any questions on emptiness. He was so patient, he gives me answer, He would never say that, Dorji, this will come after 10 years. He would never say that. He's so kind. So every Sunday I had to go from my monastery to how many of you have been to the main temple, Dharamsala? Right? So around in that same premise, the campus of my monastery was there, Institute of Buddhist Dialectics. Then from there I had to climb to the TCD school, the uphill to translate for my teachers, when my teacher giving the teachers to his students. Then I was just newly learning what emptiness. Oh, everything is mentally imputed, everything purely subjective, no objective. Then sometimes the monastery prayers meant to finish by 7, and I was supposed to be reaching the temple. No, my teacher's hermitage by 8:30, and then the morning prayers, because of our school principal, my most venerable teacher, Geshe, the Lessen. So he would extend the prayer from 7 to 7:30. Then only at 8 finish. Then 8:30 I should be there. So distance impossible. Then I would think that if things are really subjective, why should I have to take the burden of just running there to reach some time? I can just imagine that I'm there, and the person there who want to come to the town, he can imagine that I'm in the town. That I can imagine that I'm at the hermitage, and if we swapped, right? Then I can be there. But no, reality is very different. I can't imagine that I can reach there. No, how can it be purely subjective? This was a real living challenges pertaining to the question on how things are purely subjective, right? So these questions will come. It's not just philosophical discussion here. These are what we will all go through when you really go into this analysis and meditation. Okay. So with this, what it's saying here, the 37 is that it's not the case that empty things like reflections, which are contingent about aggregation, are unknown to the world. So just as in relation to empty things like reflections, cognitions are assuming these as the objective aspects arise. So now in a way, when we say that everything is subjective, in a way we are saying that everything is dreamlike. Everything is dreamlike. So from that point of view, then the question arises: if everything is dreamlike, then everything is like illusion, right? Everything is illusion-like. Then how can you account for the functionalities? The good things will give rise to good results. Bad things will give rise to bad results. right? And the nobler the goal, the longer the journey, right? And if it is just to achieve, if it is just to say finish high school and to finish PhD program, right? Finishing PhD program, more years, more dedication, more commitment, and so forth. So there is something undeniable network of the functionalities there. The functionalities are there. Cause-effect functionality is there. The reality is that the cause-effect governs the whole universe. Cause-effect governs the whole universe. And this is a fact, right? It's not that everything is subjectively real, everything is just mentally imputed, everything is imaginary, then you can alter the cause-effect. You cannot alter the cause-effect, right? So we are in this, we're in the fabric, we operate in the fabric of the cause-effect relationship. Okay, so if this were the case, then on the other hand, if everything is subjectively existent, then how can you reconcile the two things? That the efficacy of the cause-effect relationship, on the one hand, and the subjectivity of all phenomena, pure subjectivity of all phenomena, how can you reconcile the two things? So for this, the Buddha gave one answer. All these were actually asked by the individual disciples of the Buddha. Ask these questions to the Buddha directly. In the sutras, you read the sutras, you will see them. The individuals too, they are very fortunate to be able to ask these questions directly to the Buddha. Yeah, they ask these questions. How can you reconcile for the functionalities if everything is purely subjective? These questions are asked. So the Buddha gave the answer. One of the answers Buddha gave was that it is like one illusory elephant chasing another illusory elephant. Right? It is like one illusory elephant chasing another illusory elephant. So illusory cause gives rise to the illusory effect. Right? Okay. Say this microphone. This microphone, if it doesn't work, we may become agitated. Right? If it doesn't work, it becomes agitated. We become agitated. Whereas I use this pen, speak on this, and then no sound comes out, right? I don't become agitated because I don't expect sound coming out of this. Whereas from this microphone, I expect sound coming out of that. So therefore I become agitated when it doesn't work. But things are all connected to one another, right? Maybe the battery is not working. Maybe the battery is not working. Or the factory which produced this factory may not be a reliable factory. Right? Or maybe the factory may be very reliable, but there's a quality control there. Quality control. The person in this quality control department may not be the right one, right? He or she might have neglected that. So this piece happened to be the unfortunate piece. We never know, right? And this person is also governed by someone else. The person must have taken for granted that this person is a good person, fit for this quality control work. So this just connected to all these things. So let's see that this person, quality control person, illusory like quality control person, he failed to do the illusory like job of quality control, because of which create the illusory like the object coming out, and the illusory like TBC, it entered in TBC, illusory like TBC, right? And then it is used by the illusory like person, right? And then the illusory like what's the opposite of function? Malfunction. Illusory malfunction happens. So one illusory like object, the cause, gives rise to the illusory like result. That serves the illusory like cause to give rise to another illusory result. So this is how things functionalities operate. Within the illusion like nature, the functionalities operate so precisely. Right? Okay, how many of you dreamt in your life? We all have the experience of dream in our life. In your dream, how many of you dreamt of being chased by a ghost? Huh? Yes? Okay, let's say chased by human being, chased by ghost, whatever. Right? Now, when somebody chases you, right, with the knife or whatever, or gun, whatever, wow, what a joy! How many experience joy? No joy. Although it's illusion, right? The person chasing you is illusory, and you running is also illusory, but you have to run in the dream. In the dream, when the person with the knife, gun, these things come to chase you, right? Oh, it is dream, it's illusion, you will not sit like this. You also run. So, who's running? Illusion-like person is running. What made this illusion person to run? Because the illusory person with the gun is chasing that person. So illusory phenomena can illusorily affect the illusory object. This is how the world operates. This is how the world operates. This is how the world operates. Right? Now, this will make a tremendous sense. This is the meaning of the efficacy of the functionality after having rejected intrinsic existence. This is the meaning of the efficacy, accuracy, or the efficacy of the functionality despite being in the absence of objective intrinsic existence. Okay, so once you get a glimpse of emptiness, when you see that this self, which I'm saying, this self, is not really there. Just beside what comes to my mind, subjectively comes to my mind, it from its side, nothing's really there. If you get a glimpse of this, slowly you expand to the external object of flower. You expand it to, say, the water that you're using for taking bath, taking the shower, the water which is washing you. Just think about the emptiness of water, emptiness of this body, emptiness of the emptiness of what? What is being washed away? Huh? The dirt, emptiness of the dirt, right? Right? Oh, this water is just objectively empty. Just think of it very seriously. Initially, don't jump into everything one after the other. The efficiency is not there. So first, just focus on one. For example, the water when you take shower. This water which is washing me, is just empty. Just, in the process, you may take say a few seconds, think about it, emptiness of water. More, just focus on that. Then sometimes focus on your own body which is being washed. It's also empty. And yet it has to be washed. It is empty. And then the dirts which are being washed away, these dirts are also empty. Right? Okay, then after a while, then you can combine all together. So this illusory water is washing this illusory body, washing away the illusory dirt and making it illusory clean. Right? Combine them all together and meditate. In the process of you taking a shower. Right? Okay, so this is how, if we can do that, then slowly we see that, wow, it's amazing. The functionality is that you cannot deny the functionality, and yet this functionality is all illusion. Within illusion, everything functions so properly, so precisely, so efficaciously. Right? Then you will see the harmony of the emptiness and the functionalities. The more you think about emptiness, the more you see the harmony between functionality and the emptiness, that is the point that you are going the proper track of emptiness. The more you go into emptiness, the less respect that you have towards the functionality, about law of karma and these things, less respect, which means you are on the wrong track. Your emptiness is falling to nihilism, right? More that you go into emptiness, more the respect for the functionality is amazing. Because things are empty, things should function. Because things are empty, the functionality is there. Functionality should be there because it is empty of independent existence. When this this reassurance comes to your mind, you are in the proper track of emptiness. Okay. 37. It's not the case that empty things like reflections. A reflection of a dream is reflection of the moon. Reflection of the moon is a real moon or a fake moon? It's a fake moon, right? Reflection of the moon is a fake moon, which means it is illusion. Although it is illusion, but for it to arise, for this reflection to arise, it depends on many other factors. Reflection of the moon in the water. For this reflection of the moon on the water to arise, there must be the moon up in the sky, yes, no? Yes. There must be distance light falling on the water, yes, no? There must be the surface of the water on which the light falls, yes, no? Right? There must be distance from the reflection to your eyes. Without the distance, if your eyes are touching the water, then you will not see the moon, the reflection of the moon. So all depends on all these factors, then this illusory reflection comes into being, right? The reflection is the example of the illusion, right? So the reflections. It is not the case that empty things like reflections, empty things meaning the reflection which is empty of being the real moon. Reflections which are contingent, which are dependent upon aggregation, upon the collection of various factors, are unknown to the world. Meaning that it's just English. It is not the case. It's not the case. Meaning that what is said there is not the case. That because the reflection is not through the moon, it's not the real moon. Reflection of the moon is not the real moon. Therefore, it can happen in any ways. That's not true. Even the reflection of the moon, for that to arise, it is contingent on many other factors. This is what is known to the world. What is known to the world. Likewise, this flower, likewise, you, I, this house, this nation, which seem to be so intrinsic, they're all illusion-like, yet they come to being by dependence, by contingent on many other factors. Right? Okay. It's not the case that empty things like reflections, which are contingent meaning dependent, which are dependent upon aggregation, are unknown to the world. So just as in relation to empty things like reflections, cognitions assuming these as their objective aspects arise. Okay, it's so beautiful. So let's say the reflection is the example of illusion. Reflection is the example of illusion. So for this reflection to arise, it depends on many other factors. It's not that you can just imagine a reflection of the moon, you know, on the ceiling, and the reflection comes. It's not that. Even to have the reflection of the moon, which is an example of illusion, even for that, it depends. It is contingent on so many other factors. One, now the eye consciousness, which sees the reflection of the moon as the real moon. How many of you have seen the reflection of the moon as real moon? Huh? You see the moon has fallen in the water? How many of you have seen that? Very likely not. How many of you have banged against the mirror? Okay, be honest. How many of you have banged against the mirror? Huh? The glass, yeah. The mirror glass, not just ordinary glass. Oh, you play glass also. Okay, mirror against a big mirror. How many have banged against the big mirror? No, never? Never? Big mirror. Meaning some of the hotels, some of the, say, restaurants, hotels, the big ones, they put the whole wall as a mirror. And you think that, sometimes it's a way of marketing, way of, attracting the customers, right? You put just only the merchandise there, and you put a glass there, it doubles. Yeah. Wow, it's a huge shop there. Actually, it's very small, right? And then you may, what is there? I like to go there. You go there and you bang against it. Right? Okay, how many have banged against that? Okay, 1, 2, okay, 3. Okay, there should be many, right? Okay. If you have banged against the mirror if you bang against these big mirrors, which means that you have seen the reflection of the moon as a real moon, right? There's no difference. Okay, now what I'm saying is that why did you bang against the mirror? It's because you saw the image, reflection in the mirror as real, not as an image, as a real object. What are you seeing? You are seeing the space in front of the mirror, behind the mirror. The space in front of the mirror is replicated and is seen as behind, the virtual reality, right? And then you try to go there and you bang against there. Okay, so this image, this reflection deceived us, yes, no? So this image is a deception. It deceived us. This reflection is a deception. It deceived us. Okay. Although it is deception, but this deception should necessarily arise by dependence on the mirror, by dependence on the light falling on it, by dependence on the deceptive eye consciousness, by dependence on the distance between the mirror and you, by all these factors, then this deceptive object arises. One. Now this deceptive object also has the function to let eye consciousness to arise, right? Say for example, this flower cannot give me the eye consciousness, seeing a tree. Yet the reflection of a tree can give rise to eye consciousness. Me, we see a tree there. Oh, there's a real tree there, right? You're getting it? Okay, which has a greater likelihood to deceive me? This flower as a tree, or this reflection of the tree as a tree? The reflection of the tree as a tree. So that can give me the eye consciousness perceiving a tree, right? Okay, which means this flower does not have that capacity, but the reflection of the tree has the capacity to create this. And the reflection of the tree is illusion. Yes, no? Yes. Okay, so which means the illusion, although it is illusion, but it has the capacity to function, to give rise to something else. And whereas others do not have that function. So the illusion, although everything is illusion-like, they have the capacity to function in their own ways. So the functionality operates so precisely, without alteration. Without alteration, it functions so precisely, although things are all illusion-like. Okay. 37, line 4, line 3. So just as in relation to empty things like reflections, cognitions meaning the eye consciousness cognizing the reflection as a real tree, reflection of a tree as a real tree. Cognitions meaning the perception or the cognizing things or seeing things, viewing things, assuming these as the objective aspects, assuming these as the image reflection of the tree as real object can arise, aspects arise, meaning that although illusory does not mean that it will not function, it will function, right? Okay, how many of you have actually seen illusion, magical illusion? Magical, yes, magic. How many of you have seen magic? You have seen. So magic means what you saw was magical illusion, yes, no? Yes. So magical illusion, say what magical illusion did you see? Can you give an example? A rabbit. Rabbit? Okay, rabbit, and anything else? Cards. Playing cards. Okay, good. Anything else? Oh, your body being chopped up. Okay. Magical illusion and tricks, these two are different. Don't mix up the two. Magical illusion and tricks, these two are different. Tricks are not magical illusions, right? Magical illusion, the very good example given in the text is that, so I don't know, the example given was that, say, the basis, one of the ways by which to show the magical illusion. One of the ways, not necessarily all. One of the ways was that the magician has, like, say, pebbles, small pebbles, and the small sticks as the basis, and then the magician consecrates these items, and then you, without the awareness, the magician blow the powder in the air to affect your eye consciousness, to affect your eyes, right? And so object-wise, it's just the pebbles and the sticks, and then your eyes, the subject-wise, your eyes are affected by this powder. Your eyes are affected, right? So your eyes are affected, and the consecrated pebbles and the tiny sticks. When this object and your subject, the eye consciousness, when these two meet, then you will see the rabbits, you will see the playing cards, you will see the pigeons, the horses, the elephants, and so forth, right? Okay. Now, whereas, say if this is the sticks, pebble sticks, consecrated pebbles and sticks like this, and on my left hand, if you look at my right hand, you will see nothing, just empty right hand. If you look at my left hand, then you will see the horses, the elephants, the rabbits, then the playing cards and so forth. You will see that. But if you look at here, you will see nothing. You will see the reality, right? So, for you to see this illusion of the elephants and so forth, the object is required. What object? The consecrated pebbles and the sticks. The subject is required. What is the subject? The defective eyes affected by the magical powder, right? So, with the object, without the subjective contribution, say you're watching this magical illusion, your eyes are already affected, and then your mother comes to pick you up. Mother's eyes are not affected because the mother comes later, right? Mother comes later. Mother looks at it, and you're so fascinated. You're looking at it. Wow, there's a wonderful elephant in the hand of the magician, right? And your mother, she's just seeing what? The pebbles and sticks. So the pebbles and sticks, 100%, it does not have the capacity from 100% from its own side. It does not have the capacity to give rise to magical illusion. If it has, then your mother should see that. Your mother will not see that. And whereas, then your eyes could be the reason. Yes, but it's not 100% your eyes. It's not that your eyes have 100% capacity for this magical illusion. Because your eyes, when you look at my right hand, you don't see any magical illusion. So only when your eyes meet with the object and subject together, then the magical illusion arises. Right? So this is what is known as magical illusion. Magical illusion and the tricks, these are different. Right? Okay, now, for this magical illusion, is that illusion or not? Imagine that you are seeing the illusion. So this illusion, although it is illusion, but the functionality operates there. For this illusion to arise, there should be the pebbles, there should be the sticks, they should be consecrated, right? And your eyes should be affected. So all these factors are required for this illusion to arise. Yes, no? Yes. Okay, now, not only that, this illusion serves as a cause to trigger emotions in you, right? Serves as a cause to trigger emotions in you. If you're so fond of rabbit, and then the magician creates the illusion of the rabbit, you're so fond of it, and particularly if the rabbit is white, oh, I like to possess it, I like to have it, then the attachment towards the rabbit arises. So this illusion, although it is illusion, it has a capacity to trigger the respective emotions within you. It has a function, it functions to create the respective emotions. And if the magician creates a demon, magical illusory demon, then would you give a pleasant feeling in you? No, it can trigger fear in you. You're getting it? So therefore, although it is illusion, illusions within being illusion, it has the capacity to give rise to the functionality. Right? Bad, unattractive magical illusions will give rise to unpleasant feeling, and the pleasant magical illusions will give rise to pleasant feelings. Yes, no? Yes. Right? So therefore, although it is illusion, it still has the capacity to give rise to the functionalities. Okay. 38. Likewise, although all entities are empty, likewise, although all entities, all phenomena are empty of objective existence. Empty of existence, which means they become like illusion which is coming out of your subjective imputation. They arise perfectly from their causes that are empty. The results, which are illusion-like, empty of objective existence, they arise perfectly by dependence on the illusion-like causes. Right? Within the illusion-like nature, the functionalities operate so perfectly, so precisely. Okay. Since there is no intrinsic existence according to the true truths. So here the true truths meaning on the ultimate domain as well as the conventional domain. Since there is no intrinsic existence according to the true domains, the entities are not permanent, nor are they subject to annihilation. Okay, so here permanence and annihilation, meaning the two extremes. Extreme of absolutism and extreme of nihilism. Permanence, entities are not permanent. Permanent here referring to the extreme of absolutism, and nor are they subject to annihilation, extreme of nihilism. Right? So, because that the functionalities within the illusion-like nature, the functionality is so efficacious, so precise. It's not that you do bad things and good things happen. It's not that you do good things and bad things happen. No. You say bad dreams. This dream has nothing to do with the object. The dreams, nothing to do with the object. It's purely subjective. Your mind creates the dream. But the dream of a bodhisattva, you'll be so happy. The dream of the demon is so scary. So although it is illusion, it is just dream, it is purely subjective, but they have the capacity to give rise to the respective results. Respective results. Not that the bad dreams will give rise to happy experience and the good dreams will give rise to bad experiences. No. The cause-effect relationship is so efficacious. Okay. Likewise, although all entities are empty, they arise perfectly from their causes that are empty. Since there is no intrinsic existence according to the true truths, entities are not permanent, nor are they subject to annihilation. Entities are not permanent, meaning entities are not absolute. Extreme of absolutism. Absolute meaning they don't exist objectively. They don't exist independently. Nor are they subject to annihilation. Annihilation is the extreme of nihilism. Why? We see that this illusion-like phenomena, they operate so efficaciously. Okay, don't forget this statement. Illusion-like phenomena, they operate so efficaciously. How do you spell efficaciously? E-F-F-I-C-A-C-I-O-U-S-L-Y. Efficaciously. Efficaciously meaning so accurately and so precisely. Right? So precisely, without error. Right? So, illusion-like phenomena, they function so efficaciously. Don't forget the statement. Make this statement. With this statement, you will see that this statement will tell us that this understanding will avoid the two extremes, extreme of permanence and extreme of nihilism. How? Okay, extreme permanence. What is extreme permanence? That things exist objectively. So, this statement will reject the objective existence. How? Because we said illusion-like phenomena, right? When we say illusion-like phenomena, meaning that things are not really from the object. Illusion-like phenomena rejects the extreme of permanence, extreme of absolutism. Then we said what? The illusion-like phenomena, they function efficaciously. The second element, they function efficaciously, reject the extreme of nihilism. Because they function so efficaciously, it's not that nothing really exists, right? Things still exist. Functionality is there, right? So it rejects extreme of nihilism, subject to annihilation. Subject to annihilation meaning nihilism. Okay, we have 3 minutes more. 39. In that the action does not cease by means of its intrinsic nature. Even though there is no foundational consciousness, it remains potent. Therefore, understand that the fruits will come to materialize, even in cases where a long period of time has elapsed following the cessation of the action. Okay, this is incredibly, what? Incredibly precious plus important plus little technical. Okay, let me give you the background first. Let me give them. Is there anything in there you want to know about the word or terminology? Foundational consciousness. Okay, this is what I have to explain to you. Foundational consciousness. So this in Sanskrit is known as Alaya Vigyan. Alaya Vigyan. And then let's say some they pronounce it as Alaya Vijyanan. Okay, let's say Alaya Vigyan. A-L-A-Y-A, Alaya. A-L-A-Y-A, Alaya Vigyan. V-I-G-Y-A-N. V-I-G-Y-A-N. A-L-A-Y-A, Alaya. V-I-G-Y-A-N. Alaya Vigyan. In Tibetan is Kunshi. Kunshi Namshi. Kunshi, K-U-N-S-H-I. Kunshi Namshi. N-A-M-S-H-A-Y. Namshi. Kunshi, K-U-N-S-H-I. Kunshi space Namshi, N-A-M-S-H-A-Y. Namshi, Kunshi Namshi. Okay. In Sanskrit, Alaya Vigyan. Okay, first we need to know this concept, Alaya Vigyan. This is a very important concept. Okay, so this concept is accepted by, Alaya Vigyan concept is accepted by Chittamatra. One of the classes of Chittamatra, not all Chittamatras, only one class of Chittamatra, following the sutra, following the scripture, Chittamatra. So what they say is that, to this question, where are you? I'm here. Which one? Your mind or you? Then they will say, my mind. Which mind? Alaya Vigyan. So this mind we are talking about, this mind from this school point of view, from this particular Chittamatra point of view, the mind that we have can be classified into 8 minds. 8 minds. Very simple, don't worry. Again 8. Right? Okay, 8 minds. 5 sensory consciousnesses. 5 sensory consciousnesses. What are the sensory consciousnesses? Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness. 5 sensory consciousnesses. Then 1 mental. How many? 6. 6 plus Alaya Vigyan, 7. 7 plus afflictive consciousness. Afflictive consciousness, 9. The 8. So these form the 8. Okay. Okay, now 1 minute more. Okay. So now what they say is that of these eight classes of consciousness, of these 8 classes of consciousness, 8 classes of mind, 8 classes of consciousness. Which is I? Which is this person? Alaya Vigyan. What is this Alaya Vigyan? Right? Okay. The description that they give is very beautiful. Alaya Vigyan is like an ocean. A vast, deep ocean is like an ocean, a sea. A vast and deep sea. Right? Okay. So this consciousness, Alaya Vigyan, is like a very vast and deep sea. And sometimes when the wind blows, with the tempest, then waves can be created on the surface of the ocean. Yes, no? Yes. Okay, so these waves are created by the wind, the tempest, the wind. Now, say, and the waves, they take different forms. Some of the waves are very smooth, some of the waves are very ferocious, right? Right? Okay. And these waves came from where? These waves are the ocean?
No.
The waves are not ocean, but the waves came from the ocean. Right? What creates this wave? The wind. When the wind subsides, what happens to the waves? They will go back to the original source. What is that? Alivia, ocean. Right? Okay, so now, in our case, this alivia that we have, the mind, very expansive, very vast and expansive mind that we have, which is the ultimate self. Who you are? I'm this alivia. Right? What is the alivia like? This alivia. So, when the wind of the karma blows, then say the waves are created. The waves are created. The waves with the different shapes, and the what? Some are smooth, some are ferocious. Different waves are created. Likewise, this alivia, which is like a very peaceful, the ocean, like a escaping mind. Then with the wind of the karma, then it gets activated. And then it gets activated from the waves of the eye consciousness, the wave of the ear consciousness. All this is consciousness. It just erupts in the form of the different waves of the consciousness. Along with the consciousness, the objects. Say your mother is bringing you tea, and you are fast asleep. You wake up, your eye consciousness and the tea that you are seeing, these two are simultaneous. From Alivijnan, the Chidamata point of view, right? Say the waves are created. These waves, they are analogous to two things. One is the sensory consciousnesses and the mental consciousness, the six consciousnesses. Six consciousnesses, along with their respective objects. They create. For example, when I lift a coin, right? When I show you the first coin, the other side is simultaneously there, right? The two sides of the coin simultaneously arises. Likewise, one side is your consciousness, eye consciousness. Other side is the object your eye consciousness see. These two arise simultaneously. Ear consciousness and the sound arise simultaneously, right? And the nose consciousness and the smell arise simultaneously. And the body consciousness, tongue consciousness, they arise with the object simultaneously, right? So these are the waves. So what happens when the wind stops? What is that wind? Wind of the karma, right? Say in this life, at the moment, we're experiencing the waves, or just the placid, very serene, placid ocean without the waves. What are we experiencing? The waves. What do you mean to experience the waves? It's not the Alivijnan, it's not just Alivijnan. Alivijnan plus the surface waves, eye consciousness, objects that I'm seeing, the sound, the ear consciousness, all the five sensory consciousness plus the mental consciousness. Right? Okay. Now, when we die, what happens? The karma to propel us as a human birth in this life, that karma stops. That karma exhausts. As the karma exhausts, the wind like karma, it exhausts, then the wind which creates the waves stop. When the wind stops, what happens to the waves? All the waves go back to the original source. Again, the ocean becomes placid once more. Likewise, when we die, the wind which projected this life stops. When the wind stops, then what happened? Then slowly your eye consciousness, all the five senses consciousness, they dissolve. Go back in the Alevijna. Then the objects that you are seeing, the corresponding objects, they all dissolve. They are like dreaming mind and the dream flower. The dreaming mind, the dreaming mind, the dreaming mind, the dream mind which sees the flower, and the dream flower. Which of the two arises first? The dream mind which sees the flower and the dreaming flower. Which of the two arises first? Simultaneous, right? So what happens when you wake up? What happens to the dreaming mind which sees the flower? It dissolves. What happens to the dream flower? It also dissolves. So these two, when they arise, simultaneous. When they dissolve, they are simultaneous. Likewise, all what we are seeing, all what we are experiencing, all what we are hearing, all what we are smelling, they, along with the consciousness, like the dream mind and the dream object, just as these two dissolve together, all the sensory consciousnesses, mental consciousness, along with the corresponding objects, they all dissolve into Alevijna. Then you may wonder, when I die, what happens to TBC? TBC also dissolved in my Alevijna? This is the question. So your share of the TBC and your share of the TBC. When I die, my share of the TBC dissolves into my Alevijna. Your share of the TBC still remains. So conventionally we say TBC still remains. For example, we are having a shared dream. We are having a shared dream. Right? Say we're all sleeping here in your bed, I'm in my bed in India. Right? And we're all dreaming of coming to TBC, attending a class, talking about Alevijna. We're all having the same dream. Right? When I wake up, what happens to my dream? My dream dissolves. But you are still sleeping. You're still dreaming. Your dream doesn't stop. Likewise, when I die, my share of the TBC, that dissolves within my Alevijna. But TBC dissolves or not? No, because there are others still dreaming. So because it is there, it doesn't dissolve. Traffic still is there. Right? Okay, so this is what is happening. This is known as Alevijna. Now this Alevijna, from this we see that all the waves, anger, attachment, jealousy, competitiveness, then harsh words, negative emotions, negative karmas, they're all from the waves. Where do all the waves go back? Go back into this ocean, like Alevijna. So they go back in the form of imprints. And the imprints, where are these imprints? In the Alevijna. So this Alevijna is one which carries all the imprints of your karma, all the imprints of your afflictive emotions, all the imprints of your positive mental states, virtuous karmas. Right? Now, what happens when I die? When I die, what happens? So this Alevijna, right? The disturbance goes back to the blessed, very serene, blessed Alevijna. The next wind will blow. The next wind will blow. Which wind? The wind of the karma. Whichever is more powerful will start blowing. So if that wind is for me to take birth in Nigeria, right? Then this Alevijna will again get activated. This wind will create the what? Create the waves, eye consciousness, ear consciousness, all these things to see the Nigeria country, to see the Nigeria father, mother, brothers, sisters, house, trees, right? And then, oh, I'm Nigerian, right? Okay, then you all have to come to Nigeria. Maybe who knows you are my Nigerian brothers, sisters? You don't know. Okay, so that happens. Now what happens? Again, you create, in a way, it is like, when this wind blows, again, the whole new world comes to you. Whole universe comes to you, right? And again, you are having because the karma, the same karma, multiple karmas of the multiple people, they share the same nature, right? They share the same nature, and how the waves are created, they create the same way. They flow in synchrony, the waves synchrony. Oh, We are Nigerian. Everybody will say, yes, we are Nigerian. Right? We have the same, the facial color, and the language, and the place. Oh, this is a tree. This is the Nigerian capital. Yes. Right? So, we see the same thing. Actually, what makes us see the same thing? Actually, is this really the same? No, it is your perception, my perception, his perception, her perception, different perceptions, like a shared dream. Shared dreaming meaning, what I dream and your dream, are these two identical? No, these two are very different. But when you talk, you agree. We agree. Because the content is very similar. For example, if we say, if you put in a blue glass, and you look at this, you look at the bulb, tube lights, you will see this as blue. There's no blue tube light there. But when we converse, oh, there's a blue tube light, right? Everybody say yes, right? What you are seeing is blue and what I'm seeing is blue is because of my own glass. My glass and your glass are very different. And yet, although these are different, they're similar in creating a similar picture of the blueness. So therefore, in conversation, we say that there's a blue light there. We agree. Because we agree, we think that there's a blue thing there. Because we agreed. Right? If it is not blue there, how can we agree? This argument. But in actuality, it's a deception of my own consciousness, deception of your own consciousness, and these two, how these were deceived is very similar. Right? So therefore, this is how the Alivigyan comes into being. So with this Alivigyan, as you travel from one life to the other, what carries the imprints which make you to create the wind of the karma? Which creates the imprint? Alivigyan carries the imprints. From one life to the next life to the next life to the next life. What carries the imprint is the Alivigyan. Right? Okay. With this, now, the advocates of Alivigyan say that if there is no objective existence, if everything is purely subjective, if there is no objective existence, who carries this imprint from one life to the other? This is a question. So, advocates of Alivigyan will say that in our case, you cannot argue against us because we have the Alivigyan who carries it. But in your case, there is no substance there. There is no objective existence there, objective agent there which carries the imprints from one life to the other. So it says, 39, in that the actions do not cease by means of its intrinsic nature. Even though there is no foundation consciousness, now Prasangika is saying, even though there is no foundation consciousness, it remains potent. The imprints of the actions, or the actions, the karmas, they are still potent, meaning they have the capacity to give rise to the result, although there is no Alivigyan, foundation consciousness. Therefore, understand that the fruits will come to materialize even in cases where a long period of time has elapsed following the cessation of the action. Okay, so I'll explain this stanza tomorrow once more. Yeah, we'll stop here.